Good morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Pence in Manchester praises tax cuts as promise made, promise kept. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9.
So this is the first base. Will we be going to second base with you guys?
That's a no from me, so.
Get Pitch Perfect 3 with more music and more laughs. Own it on Blu-ray and digital.
It is great to be back in the Granite State.
Vice President Mike Pence returns to New Hampshire touting low unemployment and taxes and more jobs for Americans.
I couldn't be more honored to serve alongside a president who literally is fighting every day.
In a one-on-one interview with WMUR political director Adam Sexton, the vice president drew a comparison between Governor Sununu and President Trump.
Governor Sununu repealing 1,600 regulations in his first year in office, making critical investments in education, all the while cutting taxes for the people of New Hampshire.
Tonight, Mr. Pence spoke in front of about 600 at a fundraising dinner for Sununu. TV cameras not allowed inside while the vice president was on stage. Earlier, he headlined the America First Policies event. He reaffirmed a commitment to fight the opioid crisis, to build a wall along the Mexican border, while focusing on the tax reform bill and a growing economy.
In the years ahead, we believe New Hampshire families will see their paychecks grow by more than $4,500 per year on average.
Outside the Manchester downtown hotel, protesters demanding action from the president and governor on gun reform.
In the aftermath of Parkland, we expect these politicians to act on behalf of us, and they're simply not doing that.
The vice president feeling confident about the future as 2018 midterm elections loom.
We really do believe the best is yet to come.
Now, the vice president urging supporters to reach out to friends and neighbors to help candidates that they support. And if you visit this story on our website at WMUR.com, our John DeStaso has a full recap of today's stops. And there you'll also find the full video of the vice president's speech. Reporting live in Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Elementary teacher accused of sexual contact with multiple students. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
An emotional meeting was held here at the school tonight. No cameras were allowed inside, but reporters were. These parents are angry and terrified that there may be other children who were abused. For 5 years, Noah Campbell Halley has been a technology teacher at Stony Brook Elementary. Today, he was charged with sexually molesting 2 6-year-old boys in a side classroom where students say he never turned on the lights. This mother now worried about her first-grade daughter.
I'm shaken that she was in the situation. She was with this man. How can they not know? I mean, the children called it the dark room. I'm horrified.
It's emotional. It's draining because you wonder, did it happen to my kid?
I think everyone has to take a step back and realize that this is a very, very serious investigation with very serious consequences that no one wants to compromise.
Tonight, school officials and police admitted it's too soon to know if there were other children victimized. So experts were brought in to advise parents how to look for red flags and talk to their children.
There's also a statement made to at least one of the children along the, threatening him that if he were to report this incident to his family or police, that he could get in significant trouble.
How surprised were you?
tremendously surprised and deeply saddened by this issue.
The parents will be getting talking points via email tonight. A team of school psychologists will be on hand starting tomorrow. And very soon the school board will be taking up whether they can put extra staffing or cameras in the classrooms. We're live in Brewster tonight. I'm Mary Salata, WCDB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Maine has high rates of lung cancer. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
As a mutual savings bank, we take the word mutual seriously, helping our customers get the lending they need to run their businesses better. We've been here for over 190 years and we'll be in it together for 190 more. Saco and Biddeford Savings.
It was a snowy December morning on the Maine Turnpike. Lori Albert was driving to work and taking it slow.
So I wasn't speeding. I just happened to hit a slick spot.
She crashed her car but walked away okay. A few days later, she was having pain and got a CAT scan. It revealed much more than a broken sternum, a tumor in her lung.
I never smoked in my life, so I never thought that I would ever get lung cancer. I thought that I would be safe, but I found out I wasn't.
Her dad died from lung cancer, and her mother is battling the illness now. The car accident that mangled Lori's car and broke her breastbone actually saved her life.
15% of lung cancers are in non-smokers, and we don't have a way to figure out who those patients are.
For now, doctors in Maine are working to get to those higher risk patients and make screenings more available to rural communities. In order to get one of those screenings, you have to meet these requirements. You must be between 55 and 77, a smoker, or stop smoking within the last 15 years, plus a long smoking history.
You have to have what we call a 30-pack year history of smoking, which is a pack a day for 30 years or the equivalent thereof.
For now, doctors urge people who qualify for a screening to get one.
Again, this is like getting your mammogram. It's like getting your colonoscopy. The data that we have for lung cancer screening is actually better than the data for breast cancer and colon cancer.
Lori doesn't know what could have happened if she hadn't caught her cancer early, a diagnosis that changed her life.
Instead of waiting for later to do things, it's like do it now, because we can't always plan what's going to happen later.
Now, Lori did have surgery and is now living cancer-free. Reporting in the studio tonight, Lauren Bradley, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. China hits back at up to $60 billion in U.S. tariffs with only $3 billion of its own. Let's take a listen to the video from CNBC.
April showers, raining dinosaurs. Save some meat for the omnivores. Now stop. Okay, don't walk to the candy store. Me and my friends, we know the score. Come on, everybody, take a step out on the floor. Say cheese if you got a toy, got a boy, got a coat. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. Tell me something good.
Pretty soft response, given what we heard from Washington overnight.
Well, I think the Chinese have consistently been quite measured. I think they recognize that everyone has a lot to learn if the U.S. and China move into a trade war. And so I think they're trying to be very cautious to show that they've taken note of the U.S. action and are going to be strongly resisting, but they don't want to be seen as escalating things further.
Right, Tim. The early response from China coming in so low ball, compared to the 50 or 60, whatever however you want to read it, billion that the U.S. is talking about, and there are a lot of hoops they still have to get through, including the consultation period and all that. Would you expect? I mean, given the attitude of industry, and I'm bringing in the steel and aluminum into this conversation too, just for convenience. American industry has been pushing back against the White House. I noticed that a National Manufacturing Association group actually took ads out on his favorite channel, Fox News, to make sure that he saw the message telling him, you gave us life back, but you could take it away with these tariffs. Is this going to be? Are we going to be talking about nothing in 60 days, Tim?
I think that what's most significant about the action, yes, I think we are going to see trade flows affected by this. I think we are going to move ahead with these on both sides to a certain extent. But I think what's most significant about this is that this signals that the administration is making a fundamental change in the way the U.S. will engage with China on economic issues. Since China joined the WTO in 2001, we've had a long series of dialogues where we've tried to address our differences of opinion, and we've also brought various WTO cases. But the administration, by taking this action, is sending a very clear signal that it doesn't think that those methods have been adequate to address the challenges, and that going beyond WTO cases alone, the United States is prepared to take some unilateral actions under Section 301 of the trade law.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. General H.R. McMaster resigns as National Security Advisor. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News. Okay, and there you go on that video. President Trump and National Security Advisor General H.R. McMaster mutually agreed that the three-star general and Iraq war veteran will leave the Trump administration, the White House confirmed on Thursday. He will be replaced by former United Nations Ambassador John Bolton, the third person to take on the role during current administration. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Goodbye.